Make sure my stream is all good. There we go. Everything seems to be working. Okay. Gosh dang, I have a... is this not... Yeah. Oh well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So we're just gonna go. Oh, I look so tired, because I am. I am very tired. I got huge bags under my eyes. Gosh dang, I look like 10 years older than I am. Oh, it is super nice out this morning, even though I am so tired. It's kind of one of those mornings where I feel hungover even though I'm not hungover, and my eyeballs even say I look hungover. Like I said, looks like I'm 10 years. Yeah, I can see chat. I look like 10 years older than I am this morning. Oh my goodness. There we go. That breeze might be a little chilly. I might have underestimated the amount of clothing I need to wear. On Grindr again. No. I did spend a lot of time on Tinder last night, though. Oh, yeah, it's a little bit breezy out here, so this is, it might get a little chilly, but we're gonna go indoors. Let's get going. It's 51 degrees out, so I thought it would be really warm. That wind is chilly. Big girls. Yeah, it's yeah, I've talked to a lot of people where it was snowing and stuff. Like what was it, yesterday morning, Rachel Rachel tried to go for a run, and it was like snowing and deep snow there where she lives. And here I am. Yesterday was like 62 degrees when I went outside at what was that, like 9 o'clock last night? And 52 now. It's supposed to get up to like almost 60, I think, today. So oh no, I get it. I just do 1080 because everybody else likes it. So that's okay. Like if I'm streaming a game, I have to do 1080 because otherwise everybody else complains. And 1080 at I don't know if I'm set for 50 or 60 frames per second. I don't remember. Depends on the game. I think it's 60 for Fortnite, just because there's usually so much action going on. I have a lot of people that'll jump on. I usually only have like 3 that'll actually stay and watch, but I get a lot of people that'll jump on, and I'll get messages from some of my friends while I'm playing. Heard of the game Squad? I have not. Oh, my hands are cold. And it's all because of that breeze. The breeze is chilly. Well, it rained here last night too, so the humidity is up, which makes the breeze feel even cooler. Life in land comms. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. So in other words, you're saying I would be horrible at that game. You're talking to a guy that can't even set up a radio in the military because I don't do it very often. And when it comes to like movement tactics and stuff like that, I've been a pogue for so long. I'm gonna change cameras. Has the loudest sound effects. Must be lots of people flying back today because 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Not usually this much traffic going to the airport. Usually here, if it's airport traffic, it's usually people flying in on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening, not people in the morning. Well, this is going to have to be a really easy run today because I am feeling the last 4 days. I haven't done this many miles in a week in probably a month and a half. So I am feeling it. So we are going to just take it easy. I might have to, because they came out with a new, gosh dang, I can't even see, the sun is like right there. Can't even make sure I'm not gonna run out in front of somebody on a bike or something. But I saw there was a new update to 7 Days to Die, so I might have to play some of that today. Just because. Does suck that that's not a cross-platform game though, because I have friends that would play it with me, but they don't own PCs. But I like playing that game solo too. Yeah. That's the reason why it's not cross-platform, because they never update the consoles same as the PCs. It's kind of funny how a lot of those older games are so much fun. They came out with a new, I've been watching Raptor on YouTube, and he's been playing a lot of Project Zomboid. They came out a new update for that too, and that's an older game as well. And it's like all these games that are like 10 years old darn near. I guess they're, 8 years old or whatever, but keep coming out with updates and people are still playing them. Yeah, you like the digging? I'm never lucky enough to find a freaking auger. So for me, the digging takes so long with, like a shovel or a pickaxe or whatever. So I always been like, way too much time or what, on it. So I just do just a basic freaking fort that I can easily defend, and then try and do other stuff. I've never even gotten all the schematics to build like a helicopter or anything like that. Never lucky enough. And actually, with the newest updates, they've changed. Like, you used to be able to make like a junk turret. Didn't cost a lot of items. It was easy to make. They got rid of that. Like, updated it to some other stuff, which now you have to either learn or get the schematic or whatever for, and the parts and pieces to make it. And it's like super difficult for me because I'm never that lucky. That's what's nice when you play multiplayer, because everybody could pretty much, it's a group effort, so your chances of being able to get through a bunch of stuff is a lot higher. Nice. Yeah, one of my favorite places to make a fort is, or a base, is the the radio stations, because you have that small outbuilding and then a pre-built tunnel over to the taller building. And it has a front gate that eventually you can make like a garage door or drawbridge or whatever, and drive vehicles in there. And all that kind of stuff. So those are my favorite ones to make my base out of. But if I could get an auger, I would just make my own base out in the middle of nowhere, and make it really small and whatever. It'd be really good. Full force rode on to school, yeah. I do like my farming in that game. I will usually, like I made my base in a gas station one time. And so there was a garage in there that I could park like my 4x4 in or whatever. And put up on the roof, I like leveled it out and had like a full-on farm on top of that. That was a lot of fun. I like that. Plus, then you never have to worry about food either, if you can get a good farm going. Although I always in that game die from an infection because I can never find antibiotics or jars of honey if I catch it early on, anything like that. So I always end up dying of a infection, which ain't a big deal. It's just you lose all those skill points when you do that. When you die, and you have to work your butt off again to get back up. I cannot believe how freaking nice it is out here. It is so freaking nice. Like, with it, I mean, the path is still wet because it rained last night. Yet there is not a cloud in the sky right now. Yeah, I try and, use my skill points the best I can. There's one guy that I watch occasionally on Twitch. He pretty much exclusively just plays 7 days to die. I think he actually follows me on Twitch because early on when I was playing the game. But that dude is good. And he ends up pushing all like his skill points and stuff into. Hold on, I gotta get rid of it. There we go. Oh, that's pretty cool. Gosh dang it. Girl from Mexico is messaging me. I don't mind she's messaging me. It's just I have to keep moving the message so I can make sure the stream's still going. But he shows all his skill points in like melee weaponry and evasion, all that kind of stuff. So he doesn't even use hardly any like guns or shotguns or anything. He usually has his bat or something like that with all modded out, and that's what he does. If I try and do that, I end up dying because I mistime my swing all the time and I get hit, then I get an infection, and then I die. Yeah, the only time I've ever like really dug down, I think actually my last game I did that when I was actually in the gas station. I think that was my last game. No, that wasn't the last one. That was 2 games ago. But I dug down and had a pretty good pit. But I just had my never-ending ladder down. Staircase would be cool though. I don't know what they have. I know on the last update, like previous to the newest one, they didn't have a riot shield yet. So I'm not sure if they do on this newest one, what all the updates are. One of the some of the gamers that I watch were playing it the other day, and I just didn't pay attention to what the newest things are. Really, I just had it on so because my dog enjoys it. I don't know, like, not gonna lie, like, that's the whole reason why I got into watching Raptor on YouTube, is because my dog, between like how chill he is and his voice and all that, and then you know, the games and everything that he plays, she is just mesmerized by watching him. Keeps her busy, so I'm happy. Yeah, that is my big issue. I've done that before where I'm trying to make like even just a trench around my base to put a bunch of spike traps and stuff in. And I'll be trying to dig a straight line. And then, because I do a lot of it at nighttime, because during the day I'm out, you know, trying to loot buildings and stuff. So at night I'm just digging trench, and you get that one where you get off just that one time, and then my OCD kicks in, and it's like, damn it, I don't have my nice straight edge anymore. Yeah, the headlamp is nice, but sometimes getting the headlamp mod could take a little while anymore. Like earlier, like, I don't know, 2 updates ago or 3 updates ago, like, I would usually have the headlight mod within a couple days. Like, days in the game, not real life days. Now it's like I'm usually going through, I'm already through the first horde night before I find a headlamp mod. Same thing with the drinking mod. You used to be able to find that pretty early on, and now it takes me forever to find that too. And then like the grate and the beaker and all that, to where you could purify water. It takes a long time to find that stuff. It's like, well, the grate usually you can find pretty easy. It's all the other stuff. Yeah, I have done that before with the potted plants. Yeah. There's one guy that plays with Raptor that dude is a freaking building king. Like, they'll start playing, you know, and like Raptor and a couple of other guys are out just, you know, trying to find shit or doing whatever. After like an hour, they come back to this elaborate base with tons of storage boxes all built with labels on them, coolers, refrigerators, stuff. Like, what the hell? And this is like a, you know, a non-modded game, like no DLC or anything. It's just him doing what he's doing. Oh, that sun is bright because it's so low to the ground anymore. It doesn't ever get high up in the air. So it's always down at the horizon. Get off of there. Door on the ridge. I tried to open it that one day. It didn't work. It is just like so like nice out right now. It's craziness. Joe's in the kitchen. Looks like I'm having a seizure if I goes. Yeah, we're on the bridge right now. That's why the views are so good. Well, because this is a, for lack of better terms, like a drawbridge, there's actually, where that door is, actually goes over to the control center right there. You can see like the little catwalk that runs from underneath over to it. It's still crazy to me that they still have like all these bridges are still, you know, drawbridges for big ships, and it's like where are you taking those ships to? Because the river isn't that deep or anything really huge, and like you get around past Georgetown and the river's really, really shallow. No, the tower's not manned. It's just like a little control center for when they do need it. It's the same thing over at the bridge for over by National Harbor too, on the freeway there. There's a door at the base of that one too, and then you look up above, and that bridge is a lot taller than this one. There's a catwalk going over to the little control center for the drawbridge portion. Colors and the shadow and lighting and everything on the Washington Monument today are really cool. Of course, it's always like that when the sun's out, and this time of year with the sun being low on the horizon makes for some better shadows on things. Is going to be a short week as well. I was ordered by my boss's boss to again not work so much and essentially just work 2 days this next week, which is nice, but my replacement, even though he doesn't come here until after I'm gone, is gonna try and come out here at least 2 days the second week of January, I think, to sit down with me. I think he's gonna have a huge awakening as to what I do. I don't think he has any clue. So I'm just gonna be like, this is what I do, buddy. Start learning what you need to learn in order to do it, because you are going to have a huge learning curve. And I have no problem, like, even though he can't come here, if he wants to get involved in any meetings, he can. Try and get as much before I leave. Just gonna do whatever I do. That's what I'm gonna do. It is like just craziness. Oh, gear. Well, the only gear I have right now is my government travel card. That is, I have turned everything else in before I came out here because I knew I wasn't going to need it. So I have 0 things on my hand receipt. Even my clothing hand receipt, I've turned everything in that I don't get to keep. Okay. We had a guy that actually sold a bunch of stuff on Craigslist that he got in huge trouble for, because stuff that he needed to turn back in and everything. Oh, okay. We're gonna run the mile up to there, the Washington Monument, and then we'll head back. If I can change camera, there we go. It's hard. I have to keep turning to the side so I can see because of the stupid sun. Yeah, see, I don't have access to anything like medical or anything like that because I am working on a computer system. That's all I work on. We don't do anything, nothing. We don't do any, what would you call it, like common skills task, training, anything like that, because we don't, we do zero things in the field. Like I had to turn my IFAC in, my like everything basically before I came out here. I didn't have to, but I elected to because I knew I would be getting out of transferring hand receipts. I elected just to turn it in. Which is going to make my out processing a whole lot easier because I am essentially cleared already from everything. Take all the HDMI cables. Yeah, I am taking all the HDMI cables. And the reason for that is because all the ones I use, I purchased for myself. So, guaranteed I'm taking those things with me. So I guess I take that back. I haven't turned everything in. So I still have my work computer and all that stuff that I need to turn in. Which is funny when you, like my old computer, I had a Surface Pro with a attached like keyboard to it, permanently attached keyboard to it that, you know, folded over the front of the Surface Pro. And if you looked at the hand receipt, like I'm trying to turn this shit in, and on my hand receipt, because I had a spot for my new computer, and it said I had the Surface Pro, I had a case for it, which I did, and I had a CAC reader and a keyboard. The CAC reader was part of the case, like you couldn't take it out, it was literally part of the case, and the keyboard you couldn't take off, it was, you know, permanently attached to this Surface Pro. Yet they were listed on the hand receipt as separate items. It's like, are you kidding me? So then I get my new one, my new laptop. Oh, I got the light here. I was expecting to have to wait. Which, you know, has a keyboard. And then they gave me another keyboard, like one that I can just use because I have a docking station. And it's like, so you would think by the same logic that now I would have two keyboards on my hand receipt, but no, I only have one, which is the one that the external one they gave me. And as well as a CAC reader. And the CAC reader is internal to the computer. Like you can't take it out. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even paying attention. I was just telling a story. We'll run back by the trees again. But a lot of the trees here are tilted a lot. And I don't think that was Hillary. But even if it was, I wouldn't have cared. Oh. So super nice out. This is craziness. And there's like nobody out here, which is weird because we are a little bit later. It's 9 o'clock now because I got a late start today. I think all these people who went hard on Christmas, either eating or drinking or whatever, would feel bad and want to get out and run and everything, because New Year's is coming up when everybody's going to be outside for the first week. Everybody's going to be out running and hitting the gym and all that, which is kind of funny. It's always like that, like every year. I even saw that at my old work. So this is all, well, not all, probably 50% green suiters, and then 50% like civilian techs and contract personnel. And it was funny how for about that first week, everybody's in there, including the military people, in there in the gym all the time, working out, like packed in there. That sure does fade though pretty quickly after a week. You can feel disturbance in the forest. Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt she was out. Gosh dang, now there's a lot of people right here. Here I was just talking about how there's like nobody out here. And I'm not gonna lie, this is unusual for this many people are here as far as tourists go. Usually it's a bunch of runners and stuff like me. She can't even walk that good, can she? So I doubt it was her. She is old and put on a few pounds, let's put it that way. I don't think she's able to walk very good. I cannot believe how many tourists are out here. This is crazy. It is windy out here right now. Now that we're up on the hill, I could feel the breeze before, but now it is just craziness. Hey, there's the 4 mile mark. Well, if that's the 4 mile mark, there is no reason why I won't hit 8 miles today. Even though I probably still won't. Still probably be at like 7.89 or something. 7.92. Something crazy. Oh. Rather than dare. Getting pumped for midterms, I doubt that. Not in this town. Okay. Yeah, let's go over to the other side now. Gotta be twins right here. These two kids. They're like spitting images of each other. Wow, you guys can't really tell, but even going alongside the reflective pool, there was like tons of people, and we just ran through there yesterday, a little bit later than it is today. 0 people. So it is definitely busier today than it was yesterday, but it's all tourists. Like yesterday there was a few runners and everything, but there's nothing but tourists today. Oh yeah, I know the poles are, but there's a long time. That's the bad part about it. Doesn't actually it's just people in general. It doesn't even matter if you're left leaning or right leaning, but after like 6-7 months, people forget. Because it'll probably be like, with COVID and all that is going to magically disappear in about 6 months. Things are going to start exploding. And then, okay, we're going to run back. And then they'll forget about the 2 years prior. Everything that happened. Just the way people are. You see it every year. It's the same thing. The person was gonna like run into me. I'm like, I'm not exactly quiet, so it's not like you didn't know I was here. Whatever. Oh. Well, I'm thinking, since it's so sunny out, that I might try and get my exhaust fan put in my van today. So I should have time to do it. And then do whatever else I can do. I got my battery box framed on Friday. I think it was Friday. I didn't do anything yesterday, and I should have, because it ended up being a lot nicer yesterday than I thought I was going to. Wow, the park and Park Services garbage van is blasting the good tunes today. Well, yeah, they start in a week and a half, but most states don't do their voting until November. It's a long ways away. I think I can make it. Made it. It was kind of funny, one of the senators back in Montana, it's a Democrat, and boy, it's amazing how he's changing and turning on things he votes for since he's up for midterm election here this next year. But then you also see it on the other side too, where because Montana's famous for being a purple state, so they'll have a mixture of red and blue, and even the Republicans, like, I guess the midterm, and they're even like changing the way they vote on things. It's like politicians are just stupid. A Year for School Day soundtrack. Vote in March, yeah. Well, like in Montana, they'll do like a primary in like March, April timeframe, but the actual whatever, is it a primary? I don't remember which ones are which. But the actual like election is in November, like in Montana. And for the most part, like, I can't see. Okay, I have the light. I'm sure it's like that in a lot of other places too, but like in Montana, the best candidate is never voted for in the springtime. It's always whoever has the most clout and money, never who would be the best candidate. One of my friends is actually running in Montana, and he would actually be a really good person. I'm not sure if he's run for House of Representatives or Senate, but he'd be a good candidate. So hopefully he does good. He ran 2 years ago too, and I mean, he did okay, but not good enough to make it to the November election. Yeah, I just cannot get over how, like, absolutely gorgeous day it is in December, late December. His name is Mark McGinley. He retired from the military just a few years ago. I worked with him quite a bit, different jobs, and got to know him pretty well. And some of the issues he stands on and stuff like that, I agree with. So, which isn't always the case for people in the military. Just because you're in the military doesn't mean you're either a Democrat or a Republican. He's more moderate. He's a right-leaning moderate is what I would say. But he's a good guy. Really is a good guy. He was one of those guys when he was really young. He's always had aspirations, political aspirations, wanted to be governor of Montana at some point. Which, if he could get in as like a senator or congressman, he could definitely make a good run for it. But when he was first going to college back where I used to live, and the district for state, this would have been for state senate, I think, he decided to run, and this is a very, very blue district, to the point where usually, like for 20 plus years now, there hasn't even been a Republican run for office there, because they don't even come close to winning. And this guy, without the backing and support of the Republican Party, went out and ended up actually getting like 30% of the vote. just because he was actually going out and talking to people. And after that, the Republican Party was like, gosh dang, I wonder what we could have done if we actually gave this guy some support. But then, next 20 years after that, nobody ever did anything again. No soul, I know, absolutely true. It is I would call it a city with no identity in a way, because it is so diverse, culturally speaking, and all that, because it's a world political hub, so all these foreigners and people from around the nation and everything all here. It's just this huge homogenized mess, so you can't get, you don't have there's no identity because everybody's different. It's funny there's a lot of people in my building that are from different countries that are here for work and stuff. And it's fun talking to them, getting their perspective on issues and things that happen in the U.S. It's kind of funny. Some of it is because they just don't understand, because they don't have the freedoms that we have here back home. But others is like, so I was like, what is going on? Like, why are people a bunch of idiots? It does take stuff too seriously. Looks like it's back now. I don't know why all of a sudden my stream decided it wanted to freeze. Here I am on top of the bridge. Should have perfect signal since I'm up essentially at the highest point around, out in the open. Well, the thing that the thing that just I find crazy about the way that they're running the city like that, it takes me back to like the building, the condo I own back in Montana. It's in a building. We have our condo association. For 30 years, the first 3 floors were considered. The commercial floors were owned by one individual, and he leased it out, all that kind of stuff. Well, they stopped paying didn't have a lot of the offices and stuff leased out, so the owner stopped paying his dues for the building, then stopped paying the power for the building, and then, for all these commercial floors, all this stuff. So then us as homeowners got nailed because the power company is like, hey, this dude hasn't paid it was like $30,000 worth of back power bill, utility bill stuff. And so they came after us. So we finally just made the decision that we'll just buy the commercial floors. Well, we've come to find out, this guy that owned the commercial floors, it's like he had tons of people trying to go in and, lease the office or whatever, because we had a pretty good, like a highly sought after location in the downtown area, that kind of stuff. And he had the prices jacked up so high and he wouldn't budge. So nobody wanted to move in there. It's like, wouldn't you think you would want at least a little bit of income coming in? So, say you were going to charge $1,000 a month. Somebody offered you $900 a month. Wouldn't you take it just so you would have some income come in? And then renegotiate the lease later on if, the building fills up and it's more of a highly sought after location to get in? But he wouldn't do that. It's like, I want $1,000 a month. I'll give you $980. Nope, I want $1,000. Like, make sure my stream is still good, since I was having issues. Now I cannot see the screen because of the sun directly ahead of me. So we ended up just buying all 3 floors, and hopefully eventually in the future we will start, because everybody had to chip in a certain amount. Gosh dang, I think every single plane is taking off now. So we had to do an assessment. So I had to pay like a lot of money in order to keep living there, even though I own the place. This is starting to get ridiculous. But eventually, if we start making enough money off of this commercial investment, because it's structured as a subsidiary of our condos association, so everything goes back into the building and helps with things. So eventually, if we start making good enough money off of it, I won't even have any condo association dues every month, because it'll pay for everything. But because it's a 120-year-old building, it is needing a lot of maintenance work right now, different projects. Gosh dang, that's the 3rd plane in like less than a minute. So because there's a lot of things that need to be updated and modernized in the building, it's costing a lot right now. So like, I just got notice of another assessment here next month, and it's like I can barely afford it. Like, I'm gonna have to wipe out my savings because I can barely afford it. Well, somebody else that has a bigger apartment than me is living. The reason why people buy places there is because it's usually all they can afford, because it's cheaper than buying a house. So they're living paycheck to paycheck. And now you're telling them, oh, by the way, in January, I need you to buck up $8,000. It's just getting ridiculous. One guy, I'm like, and by the way, this assessment is well, eventually I probably am gonna sell it. Right now it's paying for itself, and because of the assessment, I can't sell right now anyways, because what kind of owner is gonna come in and be like, oh, I gotta pay a $6,000 assessment right away? But like, the soonest they're gonna even be able to do this, really, it's a renovation of our upper decks, internal upper decks, because they're so deteriorated that, I mean, technically I think the city could shut them down right now which means the people in the interior of the building up on the top 2 floors wouldn't be able to get in their apartment. But like right now, the earliest somebody can work on it is over a year out. So it's like, you can't spread this assessment out over the next year. You need it all at one time. Like, what do you need it all at one time for? Makes zero sense. The last meeting we had, it was very heated because there's 3 of us in that building that nobody likes because we always try and speak common sense. One lady, I went off on her on the last meeting because this lady is extremely wealthy. She essentially bought 3 apartments, and then because they're all sitting next to each other, renovated and combined them all into one apartment. Well, these assessments are based off of square footage, which is what everybody in the world does. Yet, she brought up that I think we should just divvy it up equally between all the owners. I'm like, yeah, of course you do. Because then, instead of being paid by square footage, where you're going to be paying, $30,000, gosh dang, something flew into my eye. If it was split out between all the owners, then I gotta try to get this out of my eye. You're going to be paying essentially a third of what you are required to pay. So this building is actually built to withstand, has been modernized to withstand earthquakes, because we have a lot of earthquakes in Montana. And it's a old, like a stone brick building with a metal frame. It was an old hotel, actually. At one time, it was the tallest building in Montana. But yeah, I went off on that lady. I was like, oh, hell no. I go, so you tell me how fair it is that you are paying, like, that girl always waves at me, and she is super cute. Anyways, she it's like, I have 500 square feet in this building. You have over 3,000 square feet in this building, and you want me to pay 15 grand and you pay 15 grand. Like, no way. And by the way, what she does own is up on this thing that needs to be fixed too, where us down on the lower levels, the peasants, don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's like, realistically, I think you guys that paid extra so you could live up on the top floors should pay for it yourself, because none of us down below ever go up there. The only reason why you go up there is because you live there. I don't ever go up there. But the fact that she said that, I was just like, oh. My first thought was, oh, are you a communist? Because that's kind of a communist type of answer. Everybody should be equal, no matter how big their stuff is. No, that's not how it works. It is the, gosh dang, whatever's in my eye, I cannot get out of my eyeball. It is bugging me. Well, it actually is known to have, especially down in the basement, to have ghosts and stuff, just because it is such an old building. And it used to be a hotel, so I wouldn't doubt there was some brotheling going on in that building too. But it's called the Placer. I don't know. I think if you look it up, it's the Placer Hotel. It might just be called the Placer now, because that's what it is for a housing community. But it's called the Placer. in Montana. There's a building about a block away that is really known to be haunted. Like, you always hear things in there, see things, all that kind of stuff. My ex-wife worked in that building for a long time, and they'd always have weird shit like a coffee mug just flying across the room with nobody in that room, banging up against the wall, that kind of stuff. The old bar downstairs in that building was like, if you went there middle of the night, you'd hear like glasses like kind of tinking with each other, like people were making toast or whatever. She even experienced some things when she was the last one in the office, like leaving, to where eventually, like, she would not be the person that was the last one in the office. Didn't matter if she was done with her work or not. She was like, "Oh, you're leaving? I'm leaving with you." No, I was never on anything like that. It was converted to apartments and condos back in the 70s or late 60s, something like that. Oh, okay. Got about a mile left, and not gonna lie, last 4 days the miles are wearing on me. So, could I run more? Yes. Do I want to run more? No. I am pretty well spent. I really need to take it this next week. I need to work on my van and get as much of it done as I can, because I really need to hit Lowe's. Maybe I'll run there today too and get some screws and bolts. I need to put some rivets in and have some bolts to bolt some stuff on. Okay, I gotta fart. Okay, now we're good. With junk I've been eating, I do not want a chance farting while I'm running. Never know what would happen. So I'll just take a stop for a second and fart, just to make sure. Oh, you're up days now. Cool. Wouldn't really be anything to see. It would be the most boring stream in the world, because at least if I'm going to go out and work in the van for 3 hours, at least an hour and a half of it is me sitting there thinking about what I want to do, not doing anything, It's like the other day, I spent 2 hours, might even been longer than that, closer to 3 hours probably, building my battery box. The first 20 minutes was me unloading my van because I have all my wood, and I have like 40 planks of shiplap in my back of my van, but I can't put any of that up until I get my wiring ran and all that. So I'd unload all that, as well as other wood, and then the rest of it was just trying to figure out, thinking ahead how I'm going to have my electrical and how I want to build my battery box, all that. Literally, once I had that figured out, 15 minutes I had my battery box completely built. It's like I spent 3 hours to do 15 minutes worth of work. And that's what sucks. If I can get the big thing is if I can get my wiring ran and get the shiplap up on the ceiling and partially down on the walls and stuff, I'd be able to go a lot quicker just because I wouldn't have to keep moving crap in order to build. And really, if I get my screws, I could probably get my fan built, or my fan installed, and my solar built and mounted today. And that alone right there will help out a lot. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with I need to figure out some sort of ramp or something to do for my dog to get into bed, and I have an idea of what I'm going to do there. I think it'll work out pretty good. You do that too? Yeah. I'm telling you, I have problems. I do the same thing when I'm out running. If like, what was it, yesterday when we were out running around, I was only like, I'm just going to do 5 miles. And then we got there and I thought about it a little bit. And I was like, well, I could just go an extra half mile. So then we got to the turnaround point there to do 6 miles. And then I was like, we spent 10, 15 minutes just talking about, well, I could run over here, or I could do this. And I do that a lot when I'm out running, because like today, being how freaking gorgeous it is out, if I didn't have stuff I wanted to get done today, I easily could have spent 3 hours out here just doing whatever, running around with no particular goal in mind. Just make the ramp a storage box inside, and you could. I actually thought about doing stuff like that, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. The big issue I have right now is figuring out, so over on the one side, basically above where my fridge is and my battery box, kind of making a little bit of a like a love seat, I guess you could say. And that's also, there's going to be kind of a, I guess, a wall, which is where my computer and some other electrical stuff is going to be as well. So right there, I'm thinking about having a like a ramp or a set of stairs or something that I can just flip down, and then when I flip up, you know, for my dog to go in and out of the bed, because she could easily, like, it's not as high as it was when it was in the front of my vehicle, but so she could easily jump down. It's the jumping up that she would have problems with. But yeah, we'll try to work on it. I'll see if she wants to. So nice out. I think she would just hang out outside okay. While I'm working on stuff, she could just be tied up next to a tree. And she'd be plumb happy chewing on a stick or something. Cops are out in full force today. When I was out there working the other day, like, you know, I had to carry out a box and stuff, and there's a guy, I don't see him parked there, he must be at church or something now, but he always parks right next to my freaking van, and every time I'm out there he comes by and he can't get into his truck because he's parked there. It's like, dude, you should learn by now, just park a space over. It's like every time you go out there you get mad at me. Well, I did, I'm not gonna lie, I ran a little bit further trying to get a full 8 miles. I told you I'd be close, but we ended up with 7.99. Oh, she can jump, she just can't jump that high, especially when it's a fairly slick hardwood floor that she's jumping off of. And really, she could jump that high, she just doesn't jump that high. Oh, okay, well, that was a fun run. Looking at my comments here, you can't see it, Barfbag, but over on my YouTube channel right now, I got a freaking bot or something posting spam, but they're very sneaky about how they're trying to post links in order to get past my auto mod feature. I don't know how. I should just turn commenting off. Because the only people that I get that over there, they're not commenting, they're just watching after the fact. They never watch it live. She is a princess. She is a freaking princess. And she knows it too. She knows it. Okay, well, I'm gonna go upstairs and go grab the princess. We're gonna try and hit the store. I didn't sweat too much today, which is good, because I ran so slow. So I can just run to the store really quick. I just gotta buy a few things, but this morning is our normal run to the grocery store day. She likes it. She gets to go for a little ride and all that kind of stuff, so we're gonna go knock that out really quick and then try and work on the van and I don't know, maybe play some 7 days later instead of some Fortnite, but yeah. Anyways, that's it for today's stream. I'll probably stream, okay, maybe, we'll see. I'll think about it. I don't know how good the signal is down in that hole, but like I said, it would be a very, very boring stream. Yeah, I might stream tomorrow. We'll see if I feel like running on Monday or not. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday of next week, I will definitely be streaming, possibly Thursday as well. Gaming and eating, I probably will because I'm lazy. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. Thank you for the conversation, Barbag, and I will see you guys at the next stream. Feel free, if you're watching and you haven't followed me already, smash that follow button if you don't mind. Follow me on my socials, yada, 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 all that kind of stuff, and I will see you guys next time. It's about getting the van done. Correct. Bye, guys.